How are you? Thank you for taking the time to do this.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for having me here.
Oh, no, it is my absolute pleasure, particularly as we know we're in that nice little period. We're getting closer and closer to release of an album. Your brand new album, of course, it's Jailbreak, September 29th, via Napalm Records. Where's your head at with it right now? Are you still enjoying this slow build and the process to releasing it?
You know, my head is all over the place. It's getting, it's getting crazy, but in a good way, because we have a new single coming, we have the album release, we have a tour coming, we have the rehearsals, we have a lot of stuff. But it's good stuff. It's okay. It means that we have a lot of good work, so it's okay.
Yeah, I get your thinking. It is always wonderful to be busy. It's always wonderful to have the attention put on the band and what you guys are doing, of course, but it's still a lot of work.
Yeah.
Okay, now what's an aspect of this release process that you've been going through that you've been enjoying the most, and something that you've kind of would have preferred not to have to do?
No, everything till now is going really great. We are very satisfied about how people reacted with the new singles, and the video clips and the songs and everything. We see a lot of very positive reviews and a lot of positive, opinions. And of course, as I said, it's like we're keeping busy promoting and doing everything, but it's going in a really great way, and seeing people loving this gives us even more power.
Absolutely. What about like the sort of behind the scenes stuff? You're making some videos, you're doing all the stuff like that, you're promoting it and stuff like that. Do you enjoy that aspect of it?
Yeah, for me, making the videos, it's like let's say a rewarding for all the job you done in the previous period, because recording the album of course can get a little bit more stressful, and you don't know how people will receive the new songs and the new tunes, but after everything is working out fine, doing the video clips, it's super fun. You have a lot of good time there. So it's like rewarding for all your hard work you did before.
I'm glad you're finding fun in that, because it can also be a lot of hard work.
Yeah, but it's fun in the same time.
That's all I want to hear. So talk to me then about your role in the creation of this album and what you specifically wanted to achieve with it.
Look, from the beginning that we started talking with Prika about the new album and how we see and how we are thinking of everything. From the beginning, we had in our mind like the new album is gonna be super powerful, keep of course the thrash metal vibes with some death influences, but also adding one more element, which is like the classic heavy metal. So yeah, it came out like pretty naturally to our heads, and the riffs that we were coming up, it was in this kind of vibes. So we didn't force anything, it was, we just let the inspiration flow. And so yeah, the final result was very, very close to what we had in mind since the beginning.
So the vision was clear from the start. It didn't really get hazy, and the end result has stuck to it as much as possible. Okay, yeah. Then what then for you were some of the more challenging aspects of creating this record?
This I have to say that maybe it was creating some solos for the last songs that we finished inside the studio. So we had some long solo parts in there. I was feeling that I have to come up with something very catchy, something that goes great with the rest of the song. But also we had like a specific time and specific days to spend inside the studio. And because for me, it was the first time doing this, I mean, like creating something in there and record on the time. In the beginning, I was anxious, but then when I saw that everything is working out well, my anxiety went away and I was feeling totally confident on what we were doing.
So the best way for you to deal with that anxiety was just to kind of get on with it, and as it started to come together, you were able to relax more.
Yeah. Also, the studio that we did the whole recording process was in Malaga, in a very beautiful remote area. So you had all the peace in the world to be totally focused on this. Yeah, it was inside nature, it was beautiful. So yeah, all the bad feelings and the stress went away and you were totally focused on creating music.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. You're able to just to step outside. If you needed 5 minutes, step outside, take in the beauty and re-energize.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, same question, but on the opposite side. What aspect of creating the album did you find you enjoyed the most? Stuff that either pushed you as a creator or stuff that you just thought was fun?
You know, like composing the album, especially in the first part of it, because we started exchanging ideas and riffs with Prika, and by the time we had like a lot of stuff gathered, we said, okay, it's time to meet each other in person and really compose and really build up everything. Yeah, so the first time we met in person, she stayed here in Greece for about a month. It was like it was very fun, but also we had a lot of good work done. So it was like every day sitting in here in this room, beginning from the morning till the night, and it was like coming up with ideas. But because we had the same point of view and we had the same, you know, way of thinking, everything was matching very quickly, you know, and it felt really. The whole process felt fun, but also, you know, we felt like we're doing a very good work in here. So we were totally satisfied about what we had.
I mean, it's the best of both worlds, isn't it? You're having fun, but you're also producing quality content. Yeah.
I mean, you know, music is like a very beautiful thing. Of course, you can get stressed and anxious about a lot of things, but music is a very pure thing, you know, on its own. So it brings you out a lot of good feelings and good vibe, and that's what we totally appreciated.
Did you find that when you did meet up and you spent time together in Greece and worked there, did you find that was when the album really started to take shape?
Yeah. As I said, we had a lot of ideas, but it was like just ideas gathered all together. And then we start to put everything in a correct way and start to build up the songs and adding details, you know, here and there. It was a period that we start to do the most structure of the new album.
Did a lot kind of get left out? Did a lot get cut out and put to the side, or was it quite efficient, the number of tracks and the size of the album?
We have still a lot of ideas left. Yes, of course, yes. Or even whole songs, you know, left out.
Just didn't fit.
Didn't fit, or it wasn't like the right moment to get in. We were totally 100% okay with what we had, and we say, okay, these are really cool stuff, but we don't feel like we have to force everything to be inside, you know. If it feels right, it feels right, you know. So we were okay, we were satisfied, and we said, okay, the rest we just have a lot of stuff, you know, for the next albums.
Yeah, because as well, you'll end up with an 18, 20 track album. I mean, it's 13 tracks in itself, and that's long by today's standards.
Yeah.
For you, is there one particular track that hasn't been released as a single that you're particularly interested to seeing the reaction to?
Yeah. You know, it was a track that it will sound funny, maybe, but for me it feels like Rocky, you know, Sylvester Stallone, Rocky the movie. Because in the beginning it's like a bit more outsider, you don't giving a lot of attention to it, but then after the mix and after doing all the details, it's coming out to be like a great song. And I'm practicing these days, and when it's time to play this song, I say yes, you know, it's nailed the coffin. Yeah, it's one of the, not a single, but it came out to be very, you know, and especially the melodies and everything came out to be very, you know, stuck in the head.
What are you expecting the reaction to be for that song? Are you expecting the Nervosa fans to love it? Expecting a few weird looks, that kind of thing?
I expect and I really believe that they will start to sing along the melodies.
There it is.
You know, when we created this kind of melodies, we were imagining, you know, the crowd to start to singing, you know, all the way.
Yeah, I mean, if there's one thing I can tell you about the new album, Jailbreak, it is that it's surprisingly more catchy and infectious than anything ever done before from Nervosa, which is absolutely stunning.
Thank you so much.
Gary Holt, Helena Kotina, two very impressive talents to have guests on this album. Talk to me about working with such outstanding musicians.
You know, from the beginning, we had in our mind to put some guests inside the album, and of course, we wanted to have like one guitarist playing, participating in one guitar solo. And Gary Holt was always in the top, you know, in our minds and in the top of the list, let's say, because we are huge fans of him, of his guitar playing, the job he did with Exodus and with Slayer after. And we contacted him, and he was very fast in replying. He said like, look, I really want to do this. I'm super busy because they were on tours back then. But he said like, by the time I have a small gap, I'm preparing everything and sending to you. And he did, you know, he came up with a very Gary Holt solo. It's a very like, it's totally him.
Yeah.
And he made like one of our dreams, you know, coming true. I mean, having one of your idols playing inside the record you created is huge, it's insane. And on the other hand, we want to have a female vocalist to participate. And we wanted to have like not clean vocals, but of course brutal vocals, but a bit different from from Prika's voice. And then we thought about Lena Scissorhands, that she's doing an amazing job with Infected Rain. And because she has a really another type of voice and then different, she's using a, you know, different technique, we really thought that it will fit great together with Prika's voice. And this happened when she delivered the parts that she's been singing. Everything went in the way we had in our mind.
Yeah, the end result really is incredible. It's say two very, very talented people offering two very different things to Nervosa, but also living within your world. It's not such a startling shift in like tone or anything.
Yeah.
And of course, I mean, Jailbreak obviously holds a kind of a new beginning for Nervosa, and most notably Prika moving into the lead vocalist role. This particular change, was this something that really excited you personally?
It was something that, look, when Diva announced that she wants to leave from the band, Prika told me that, look, I don't want to change voice of the band like one more time. So I decided to take on the main vocals, it wasn't something she was planning. I mean, she was always doing the backing vocals, okay, but to take on the main vocals is totally different thing. And she was always seeing herself as a, you know, guitarist. But she said, look, I feel that I have to do it, and I think that I can do it. And she pretty much showed this to us, because in the Latin American tour we did last year, she was singing every night one song on her own, totally on her own. And when we came back from the tour, she started the vocal lessons, she started practicing, you know, every day on techniques and everything. And by the time we hit the studio, she was like ready to do it. And I remember I was trusting on her because I know she's really hardworking. I knew that she has the, you know, deep, brutal voice, but I knew if she's like has the flexibility, you know, that the main vocals are, you know, you have to have. And by the time she recorded the first song, I remember I get into the control room and listen to it and say, oh, okay, we totally have it. We totally have what we want. And we were absolutely satisfied with the result. And she practiced even more, exercise even more, and she can bring this result on stage and play the whole set list. So everything turned out to be just right.
Just right's a really good way to put that. You know, I've heard the new record. We've seen you guys live earlier this year in the UK, in London as well. So I've seen Prika sing on stage as well, coupled with, of course, this release. It feels like Nervosa at the moment's stable, really in a good place, and really, really ready for the future as much as anything else. Do you get that vibe that the stability is there now?
Yeah. I totally get that vibe, and I'm totally happy with it. And I'm totally happy, like, every show that we are doing, because also summer was very busy. We had a lot of festivals. Feeling like in every show we are doing, the band is growing and the connection is growing more and more.
As a guitarist, where do you think you particularly excel? Do you enjoy or find you excel better in the studio or on stage? And what do you find more rewarding?
Look, it's like the one thing is bringing the other. You know, if you and your job you're doing in the studio, then probably the record you will create will be good, so people will love to listen to it and to you playing it live. So it's like two different things, and they are giving you both very positive things, but in a different way. I mean, I remember when we were in the studio, and I was totally 100% focused, you know, on creating music. I was coming up with things that I never knew that I can create. You know, I felt totally, you know, it was crazy, because I was discovering different, you know, aspects and different parts that I didn't knew if I was, you know, able to do before. And yeah, it felt very, very pure, you know, this whole creative session. On the other hand, when you are on stage, of course, you are playing things that you have been playing again and again and again. But playing these things, you know, playing the same songs all around the world for so many different people every night, and every night you're watching them enjoying, and, you know, mosh pits, headbanging, totally living the moment. It's unique.
Yeah, I mean, every show is going to be different as well. So yeah, you're never going to replicate everything. So looking forward, what do you think Nervosa as a group kind of need to do to continue to push onwards and upwards? Is it simply a matter of getting out there live, playing these songs, and trying to tour the world on the back of this album?
Yeah, of course, you know, it's not things are not so simple. You have to always keeping there, you know, always working. And of course, we have to keep touring and promoting, because like the new album is just releasing on the end of the month, so everything is like fresh. And we want to play like everywhere, even in countries that we never played before. But also, you know, as the time is passing, you know, we have to again keep in mind that the next album, next album, you know, is coming. And you know, you have to create this kind of situation. You have to create the condition and the program and everything. It's not like okay, we go tour and then we come back and go tour again. In between, there are a lot of different stuff that you have to do. So then you are a step ahead and you can keep the band growing.
Yeah, keep yourself sane as well. I'd imagine as much as anything else, planning and making sure you know what the next stage of what you want to do is.
Yeah.
Then for you, what would be a good measure of this album's success when you say look back in any year's time? What would you like to be able to say about the record that would confirm its success for you personally?
You know, for me, I would consider this album successful by the react of the fans. You know, once the album is released, you know how many people we gather in our shows and how our shows are going on. It's like a bit of a measurement to, you know, to think about the album's success.
Well, you said something a moment ago and about obviously playing countries, playing places you've never played before. What, off the top of your head, what is a country, a bucket list country that you would just one day love to play?
Look, for sure, it's like Australia that before, and I'm really happy that I'm seeing now a lot of bands, you know, start touring in there. And we are totally open, you know, to go in there for the very first time. We really want to play, you know, and promote the album in all the countries that it's possible.
Anywhere and everywhere, basically. But yeah, great shout in Australia. It's got a wonderful music scene as well. So absolutely. Fingers crossed. Okay. This is Ozzy Osbourne, and in his head are randomized cards, randomized questions that can be anything and everything. And I'm going to pull some out before we wrap up this interview and ask you them if you do not mind.
Okay.
So, right, we begin with this one. Number 49. What is your proudest achievement to date?
Proudest achievement? Okay. I would say about Nervosa, it would be maybe the show we did at Vakin.
Incredible.
Yes, it was a very special day because we were beginning our set list with Seed of Death, and Seed of Death was getting released by Napalm at the same time that we were on stage. So it was like... And considering all the weather conditions and everything that we passed through at that day was crazy, like a roller coaster. Yeah,
that weather. Fingers crossed it's never like that again. But wonderful that you have good memories of it.
Yeah, yes.
All right, number 5. What is the first thing you do after you wake up?
Coffee.
Simple.
Yeah, as simple as that. Coffee and then all the rest.
I love it. All right, number 45. What is the most decadent thing you think you've ever eaten?
The most?
Decadent thing you've ever eaten?
I think, you know, I'm not very good with spicy foods. Yeah. So accidentally, I think when we were in UK, we ordered some stuff that we considered that would be totally normal, but they came out extremely spicy. But I was extremely, hungry. So I was sweating all over, but I was continuing because, yeah. But okay, it was an experience.
Oh my goodness me, something from the UK tricked you. Oh, wonderful. Okay, number 4. What is a skill or a talent you wish you had?
Oh, skill or talent. Mm-hmm. Maybe I would go with the talent some of my idols have, like it's a huge influence for me. The Scorpions, it's like my top favorite band, and it's a huge influence over the years. So I would really love to be at their age, be alive and be in their condition, because the guys are like 75 years old playing in 100 meters stages and running up and down for 2 hours. So yeah, I would really love to be lucky enough to live till there and be in the same condition. Yeah, it's crazy.
It is incredible that they're still able to perform to such a high standard.
Yes.
All right, one more for you then, and it's nice and easy. What is your drunk food of choice?
That drunk food.
Yeah, so you've been out drinking, you've had a few too many, and you're feeling a bit hungry.
Okay, it's easy. Here in Greece, I don't know if you ever eaten. We have gyros.
I love it.
So it's pretty. You can find in every corner of the city. It's very cheap, very easy to find. It helps with the hangover. So it makes you it really makes you even heavier, so you can sleep like a baby after. So yeah.
Fantastic. But of course, if you're talking about heaviness, we got Jailbreak September 29th via Napalm Records. It is a spectacular record, and I expect not just Nervosa fans, but Thrash fans, Death fans, and all of that to absolutely love it. And I hope it's super successful for you. Helena, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to see more content like this, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It is gratefully appreciated. You can find us over at gbhbl.com, our full website, where reviews, news, and so much more goes up daily. We're also on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, at gbhbl. Just search for gbhbl and you will find us out there. We also have merchandise on sale. You can access the shop via the website.